Welcome, everyone. We are here. We are live. Welcome. Happy 2026. Back on the podcast, the video live stream. Mandy, Happy New Year. How are we doing?
I pity the fool.
Silly. It's so silly.
Amani and I in the back room were just talking about the A team and Mr. T. And I told him that I used to have a keychain with Mr. T, and you press the button and it said, I pity the fool. So if anybody's listening or watching and you are Mr. T fans, let us know. We want to know who our people are out there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, we do. So before we get too far ahead into New Year's, you have just returned from a trip overseas. How was your trip?
It was wonderful, Amani. We went to Paris. We stayed in Paris the whole time. Normally, when we travel, my husband, he loves a PowerPoint. He loves a spreadsheet. He creates any decision in life. He's like, let's make a Excel doc. I'm like, oh, bro, man, that's a lot. But what we did not do for this trip was go to a whole bunch of places. I'm like, I just want to stay in one place so we can wander, we can wonder, we could wake up, decide where we want to go. We're not worried about like, oh, I only have 3 days here. And it was probably one of the best trips we've ever taken in the 16 years we've been together. Like, we woke up, we slept in, we took naps, we ate once a day because like we ended up eating at like 1 or 2 or something. And they were really long meals. Like, we were just enjoying each other's company. We were people watching. We were trying to understand the menu and the food. And then we were walking a lot. And then we were really cold. So like going back indoors meant like taking off like a million pieces of like clothing. So we were like, we're not going to eat again. Like, we're just going to keep walking. And then, yeah. And then we had breakfast in the morning, and then we'd have some sort of long meal like later in the day. And that was awesome. But it was like, this whole year has been about so many things that have been a little stressful. So it was nice to be away and like not talk about any of the stressful things. And it was wonderful. We walked a lot. We saw some live music. We ate some foods. I went to Veuve Clicquot. I went to Madame Clicquot in Rheims is how they say it, I guess. Rheims. They
Okay.
don't say their consonants there in Paris, I learned,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
anywhere in France. But it was great. Yeah, it was really, really wonderful. And we had like 5 days when we got back. So I was able to turn it off and actually ground myself when I came back. We unboxed more of that. We still have a lot to unbox in the house, but we unboxed more of the house, got the office set up. And I don't know, I taught myself how to make martinis. I've never done that before.
Ooh,
And
okay.
so like, we had jet lag, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. We were up at like 4 a.m. and we were
Yeah.
unboxing. We were doing
Yeah.
all this stuff in the house, and it was like 6 hours. It was like 10 a.m. And we had
Yeah.
already basically given ourselves like a back pain from doing all the work we did in the house. And I was like, should we have a martini? And Scoot's like, we can't if it's like 10. And I looked, it was like 10:02. I'm like, I think we can make dirty martinis. So we had martinis. Like, it was just wonderful. The Paris and then after Paris, it's just been lovely. So yeah, thanks for asking. What about you? You graded your papers? You had your holiday? Did you have any pancakes? Tell me all about it.
I think I did have one set of pancakes my last week in LA after class. So yes,
Mhm.
went to Uncle Bill's. And then my vacation was a little bit chill because I didn't travel. I just kind of sat
Yeah.
still and kind of did things and turned in the grades. And so the year turned and here we are. I did a good amount of DJing at my lounge. It was once a week for the whole month of December. So that kept me busy.
Oh, so the lounge, I feel like sometimes they have theme nights where the patrons are dressing up. Did they have any theme nights when you were DJing over the holidays?
No, let me think here. There were no theme nights, no theme nights, but it was
No,
very busy. It was very
was it?
busy. So
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah, it
No
was good.
sexy clauses.
No, that was outside the lounge. That was maybe,
Oh,
in the normal casino, yes, but not
oh,
in the restaurant. Yeah.
oh, that's fun. Well,
Yeah.
I know you've set some goals for 2026, and so have I. And we just shared that on our mini episode. So if anybody's interested in what Amani and my 2026 goals look like, listen to the mini app that we just recorded, and share your goals with us too. We want to hear it. And I think, speaking of 2026
Okay.
goals, we
Good
got to get to
segue.
our guest, who is
Yes,
like
good
the
segue.
queen of planning, the
Yes.
queen of goals. She changes lives one micro goal at a time. She creates effective health coaching programs for large corporations and for one-to-one, like little people like me. She's single-handedly responsible for my whole health programming that I've done in the last 4 years. She's a second-time guest. She's
Yes.
sometimes a guest host, and
Yes.
she's the founder of Shift Life Health Coaching. Jenny Perin,
Yes.
welcome
Yes.
back to the show.
Welcome back. Round of applause here.
So good to be back. So good to be back.
Jenny, we
We
love seeing you.
we love seeing you. I have to say, we've done over 230 episodes.
Mhm.
Our episode with you is in my top 3. I just
I
want to share
agree.
that with you. It
That-
was
I
so
agree.
the guests that you have are incredible, and so that means so much.
yes, because we talk about it, Mandy, offline and online. I always say, "Oh, but Jenny." So yes, so
Mm.
I have a plethora of questions for you, but I want to let Mandy start us off because you've had such a big impact on her over the past 4 years. So we'll let Mandy start us off, but I've got my questions ready because I have a specific issue that I need help with, and I've been waiting 3 weeks for this. So
Oh, Amani, we're going to do live coach. Jenny, how exciting. Live
I
coaching
love
with
live
Amani.
coaching. I can do them in cabanas. I can do them anywhere. Yeah.
yes, okay.
And you have. Well, just for everybody, what Jenny is referring to is we flew Jenny Perrin out from Ohio to California 2 years ago to my top client event, my All About You adventure. And she sat on the panel and talked about how to travel better, how to keep on your health plan while you travel. And then after, we did 10-minute one-on-one coaching sessions in the cabanas with the clients where they told Jenny all of their health problems, and Jenny like fired it up and coached. And some of those pictures from that event are you with clients in the cabanas with your heads like thrown back, laughing and just enjoying life so much. So I love that. That was so good.
I think you had to pry people away. Like we were talking. So it was, yes, we were getting into the nitty-gritty.
I had to pry people away. Like I'd be like, time's up. And yeah, no, nobody wanted to leave you. Like they did not want to leave your side.
It was so fun.
I want to talk about strategy really quick because you've been quoted in the past saying this, and it's something that I take with me every day is we have a strategy and a plan for so many things that we do in our life. Like we have a vacation itinerary. We've got a plan for retirement. We've got a plan to get kids into great schools, or a plan for this, a plan for that. But we have no strategy or plan for what the heck we're going to eat for lunch. So why do you think that is? And why do we need a strategy and a plan for how we eat?
Ooh, it's such a good, so here's what's crazy. This is called winging it, right? So, and I winged it for years. I think you two can probably relate. Most all of us can. I think that it's a cultural thing where we need to focus on everything else that we have to take care of: work, family, neighbors, just whatever you have, committed yourself to. And that seems to, raise to the highest priority. And then what we're eating for lunch is like a complete afterthought. And what we're eating for dinner, when we're exhausted at the end of the day, we typically, if we don't have a plan, we'll make some bad choices. And if we're stressed, we're going to make even worse choices. So yeah, it's like having a plan, having a system. And I think that for so many of us, right, we think, well, I don't have time. I have to build a plan. But when you have a plan, whether it's your work life or any other strategy in any other part of your life, if you have that plan, execution, oh man, it just like you have your shoes and your clothes and everything laid out to work out. You just put it all on, wake up and go. But if you don't have it, the class booked and you don't have the stuff ready and laid out and the shoes untied, ready to go, it makes it so much harder. So you have the plan, man, life is so much easier.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do a couple flash fires as it relates to plans and like real life, how you work with coaching customers. Okay. And this is a little inside baseball because like I am a coaching customer, so I know the answers, but I want to share the magic of what you do because I'm living proof this really does work. So traveling, when you're traveling traveling, you're getting on an airplane for work or vacation with your family or whatever that is, what are some hacks that people can do to infuse some sort of plan into that?
So the biggest hack is bring certain foods with you that are easy to carry, that are high protein, low sugar, that will give you a little bit of satisfaction if you run into a food emergency. That's number one. Number two, look at menus. If you know you are going to a restaurant, if you are staying at a hotel, look at the menus. I started to work with a lot of clients who are all within this one law firm. And so they have offices all over the country. So it's so fun for me because I get to look at all these fabulous menus of these great restaurants. And I'm like, here are the top 3 great choices and why. So have a plan heading into that. For clients who are going to be a part of a lot of conferences, if you don't know, like there's gaps on what's going to be served, how do you just start with making sure that you can have a good sound breakfast and maybe a good sound lunch? And dinner might be, you just make the best choice you can. So it's just, doing a little bit of due diligence on the front end and having some good snacks.
And then what about working out when you're traveling on the road? What's a good couple examples of how people can plan for that?
Yeah. So, I think, Mandy, you are unique in that you actually search for like the exciting places that you want to check out. And I love this because this is your strategy, which is amazing, which is you have a sweat working event. So in the morning, instead of, or even in the evening, instead of going to get a drink or instead of going to do something else, you are gathering people to work out. And just like the photos alone of like just folks getting together and doing something hard before the day starts, it's absolutely amazing. But it doesn't have to be big. I love the big. It could also be, I don't know, is there a yoga mat that you can, ask the front desk to bring up? Some hotels actually have them. You could check out the gym and kind of see the situation, but it could even be just stretching in your hotel room. Like there are just ways, or the easiest, right, is walking.
Yeah. I know something that you taught me that you probably don't even realize you taught me just from example, and that I still implement when I travel is you were like, okay, Mandy, if you can work out the very first day you get there. So you arrive and then that night you do whatever and then plan that workout that first day. That will dictate how you act the night before. And when you get to your hotel room, lay your workout clothes like you just said. And I still do that when I get to the hotel. The first thing I do, if I don't have a workout booked at a class nearby, if I want to work at the hotel gym, the first thing I do is actually go to the hotel gym just to check it out. But it's more psychological for me where I'm like, I am visualizing myself walking down the hallway to the gym. I'm visualizing how easy it is to get in and out of it so that I know. So that first morning when I'm there, I wake up, I work out. And then since I feel so good, I don't eat bad the rest of that day. And since I'm working out in the morning, the night before, I'm making good opening reception choices. That alone was like one of the most important strategies that you taught me because it was very tactical. It was like, lay your clothes out, look for the gym, drink 1 or 2 drinks tops if you drink it all that night before. And then that next morning, get up and work out and look at what the rest of the day looks like. Like that just sets the whole tone for the trip for me. And I think that was an important thing that you taught me about traveling too.
Well, I love that. And I love that you continue to do that. And I know you do because you text me, you post it, I can see it, which is amazing. But it's, you take on the morning or you take on the first part of a trip. It sets the tone for everything else. And if you're not traveling, it's like, I really encourage my clients to make Monday workout non-negotiable because it changes your Sunday night. It changes how you start the rest of the week. So, and for me personally, I never miss a Monday. If I'm traveling or if I'm home, never miss a Monday. So I look at that first morning and that first day of a trip as like your Monday. Yeah.
That. Good stuff. Amani, I see you chomping at the bit. You're like leaning in, your jaw's moving. Like,
okay. Well, first of all, shout out to the Poe Politicking Show. What's up, Poe? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube live. Thank you. Okay, here's my dilemma opportunity situation.
Okay.
So I went to go to my annual physical
Mhm.
checkup, and I probably need to lose about 10 or 15 pounds,
Okay.
and my cholesterol is very high, and I
Okay.
have a history of having high cholesterol.
Okay.
Now, last year I traveled more than I've ever traveled in my life by
Mm.
far. It was a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Also, I travel every Tuesday to go teach. I fly in the morning, fly back at nighttime. My meals are kind of chopped up.
Yeah.
Then all year, I was very good about doing my Peloton riding 3 to 4 times a week.
Mhm.
At least 45 minutes, if not a 60-minute ride, which is a lot. I did
Right.
not do any strength training until October.
Mm.
Then I started strength training, and now I shifted my schedule. So now I do strength training Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll do the cardio bike rides on Tuesday and Thursday. So
Mhm.
my question is, what can I do to, of course, lose the weight? What can I do to maybe prevent myself from having to go on medication for the cholesterol?
Mhm.
Those are my first two questions.
Okay. So I love this. And Amani, let me share with you my very first client when I started this in 2018 was from Cleveland. And he had high cholesterol, and the doc said, we're getting ready to do a statin. And he said, give me one more thing. Let me one more chance to course correct. So that was like the very first, and he's an active guy like you are.
Mhm.
So the biggest thing the fact that you are incorporating strength training is enormous. What we are learning about muscle building, muscle retention, especially middle age and beyond, it is critically important for longevity. It's critically important for just staying healthy as long as possible.
Mhm.
Okay, so I love that. From a cholesterol standpoint, so sugar and
Mhm.
starch are the danger zones.
Mhm.
Okay. So what we do is we look at your diet and where can you start to reduce the sugar and the starches. So when I say sugar, I mean there's the obvious of added sugars, right? Processed foods, starches, they all turn to sugar in our bodies. So think pasta, bread, all of the carbohydrates that we absolutely love. So start to bring down the starch and the sugar in your body and focus on protein, low starchy vegetables, and really good quality fats.
Okay.
The other thing is all high cholesterol, it all stems from inflammation. So we want to drop the inflammation as much as we can. So when you're looking at the protein, the good veggies that are low starch, low glycemic index, and good healthy fats, you also want to look at food quality. And it doesn't mean we need to be perfect and it all has to be organic and grass fed or whatever. But at home, when you can control it, if you have access to it, you want to get kind of the best quality you can of food.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So my follow-up question is, I went to a smoothie diet or smoothie kind of
Okay. Okay.
eating program. So the first smoothie I would eat, which I just had, is
Okay.
like a handful of spinach, the unsweetened almond milk.
Okay.
I put a little prune juice in there just for digestion's sake or whatever.
We can talk about that later.
um, it's a touch
Keeps you
of
regular. Keeps you regular.
thank you,
True.
Betty.
We're not afraid to talk about a number two on the show, Monty. It's
It's
real. Everybody does it.
My
Everybody
clients
does
and I, we talk poop all the time, so it's fine.
it. Hashtag we talk poop.
a spoonful of chia seeds and a spoonful of something else. Hold on, let me look because I have my recipes. So I have my smoothie in the morning. Then we have flaxseed and chia seeds, and then some frozen berries. That's the smoothie and protein powder, 2 scoops of protein powder.
Okay.
That's in the morning.
Okay.
The afternoon one is protein, almond milk, a banana, half a banana, avocado, pumpkin seeds, and ginger. So
Okay.
those are 2 smoothies. At first I tried to just do that in the morning and evening, and that was it. But I
Okay.
need to add in some more protein because my energy level just dropped too much.
Mhm.
So what do you think about those two smoothie options? And then what can I eat? Because I like to eat like chicken and vegetables
Yeah.
to kind of do that. I love my rice, but I kind of
Yep.
try to stay away from it because
Yep.
that would be a starch, I
It would
recall
be. Yep.
correctly. So now that I've given you that more context, what for meals, what would it be?
Okay. So let me share. So the feedback on the smoothies. I guess my question is, why smoothies?
It's easy for me to make.
Love it.
Um, I like them,
Okay.
and it's like I can eat the smoothie while I'm still kind of working, so I kind of multitask.
I love it. And I ask that because I think sometimes we choose a strategy based on like we read or we thought, but if you like it, if it works for your lifestyle and you're making good choices in what you put in it, I think it's awesome. So I think both of those smoothies are great. Be careful actually of the prune juice. Look at the sugar
Oh,
content in it. Okay, that's
okay.
number one, because juice is it has no fiber. It's all the fiber is strained out. So you could be getting a big sugar blast from it. So be
Oh,
cautious of that. That's number one. Number two, look at your protein powder. Make sure that the ingredients are good, that there's not gums and emulsifiers and carrageenan and like other additives. So make sure that. And then almond milk, do the same. Like make sure that you're doing a clean almond milk. But both those smoothies are great. And then from like a food standpoint, now what was your question about the food? Because I love chicken and vegetables, and you could do cauliflower rice, perhaps.
okay, okay. So I find that I'm gonna need to add like a pretty much a dinner
Yeah.
because my energy just the two
Yes.
smoothies aren't doing it. And I've studied and doctors have said you need to basically eat as much protein that you weigh for the most part so that you can burn off
1 gram per pound is the
per pound.
goal. Yes.
And so I wouldn't be getting that. I would probably be 40% of that from the
Yeah.
smoothie. So I need to add, but I worry about adding more food if you're trying to like lose weight to do that. But then they said if you do the strength training, you're not going to have the full effect because you won't be creating enough. I'm not sure the term they use, but you won't be creating enough like energy or whatever.
You have to eat enough to be able to really work to build muscle in the gym.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and I know it's like it's an old wiring, right? Of like calories in, calories out. And it is true that like there is a math equation here. But at the end of the day, I would suggest count protein, don't count calories.
Mhm.
Listen to your body. So if your energy is low, that is your body telling you you are not getting enough. Okay. So that next meal could be something as simple as sheet pan chicken fajitas. So chicken breast, all cut up, great, Mexican seasoning, and then peppers and onions and all the veg that you love over cauliflower rice. One serving, like it's palm size, is going to be about 30 to 35 grams of protein. That is awesome, of chicken. Okay. So yeah, go for it. Don't, when you starve yourself, your body will actually go, oh no, are we in a famine? And hold on to everything.
Yeah.
Plus, you are stressing your body out in not a good way.
Mhm.
So listen to your body. Your body's already telling you need more energy.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Mandy, I'm gonna toss it to you because then I have some questions because I travel so much. And
Yeah.
last year I had a really, really crazy travel schedule. This semester, it should be a little bit more, but I have a specific question about the proper way to set up the meals as I'm traveling too. But go ahead, Mandy. I'll come back to that.
I love it. I love this live coaching. This is so good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you just talked about ingredients. And I know so many times we read food labels, we look for calories, and we're not looking at ingredients. So, what should we look for in a nutritional label? And when you just talked about clean almond milk and clean this and clean that, what should we be looking for? What is clean and why should we be looking at that?
We are looking for real food ingredients. If you look at the ingredients label of any food label, and there is something in there that you would not have in your pantry. So xanthan gum, let's see, natural flavors, or TBHQ. It's actually or red dye number, 9. All of these things. These are not real food ingredients. So in order for something to be clean, it has to be made of real food ingredients. So there's two things that you really, well, I would say three things that you want to look for on a food label. And even before you look at a food label, really, we want to eat majority of foods that don't have a label, right? An apple, an avocado, right? A good lean steak. But if you're buying something packaged, and we all do, I do, what you want to look for is the ingredients. Make sure they're real food ingredients. And typically when they are, there's usually only 5 to 7 ingredients in that. You don't want long lists, right? You want to look for added sugars. Added sugars, and they are going to likely be hidden in the ingredients list. There are 62, I believe, different names of sugar. So yeah, so you want to look for added sugars. And then lastly, yeah, like what's the protein content? So it'd be good to know what the protein content is. And I would say, and I'm not saying that it's not correct, but if there's a packaged, highly processed food that is saying that it has, like, it's protein packed, does your body really assimilate or use all that protein like it would chicken, like it would steak, like it would fish? Like it doesn't as well. So just know that and veer toward more whole foods as much as possible. But that's all you have to look for on a label. That's it.
I love that. Like when we first started working together, you telling me to read labels, it added my grocery visit time, which now I love, but like now I know exactly what to get. And that I feel like that's like a short-term pain, long-term gain. Like that's a big investment. But one of the swaps I learned for that were condiments. So can you just talk a little bit about like ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, salad dressings,
Yeah.
of like what is hidden in those that we don't think is bad, and some brands that you like that are good swaps? I know you love talking about swaps.
I do. I love swaps. So here's the thing, because, and Mandy, you know this, and Amani, you know this by now. Like, I love food. I can't just eat chicken, rice, and broccoli every single day. Like, so it's like my mission to like find the good stuff that I would actually eat. So once I can understand the taste of my clients, then we can, we can find the right swap outs. It's the only way that I've been able to stick to this now for 10 years. So, two things. Before I talk about condiments, I want to address something that you said that's really important, Mandy, like the added time, because I would guess that maybe some of your viewers right now are like, that's the thing. I don't have added time. And now she wants me to read all these labels. The thing is, it's just like starting a new job or a new role where you have to use a different part of your brain for just a short time. Once you find, I go to a store, I get this, and the exact same thing mixed up, maybe just slightly. Once you know what to buy, it's very, very easy. It's just, I get to be the one to help guide folks through that change when it's, a little bit, it's new, it's different, right?
Yeah.
So condiments, I will say, when I think back to like when I changed how I ate, the last thing, this sounds terrible, the last thing that I changed was mayonnaise, because I really love like a little bit of mayonnaise on a burger or like in a chicken salad. And I love some stuff that has hydrogenated soybean oil. So it was really hard. And it is a brand that we can all probably, that starts with an H, that we all know. Okay. So the thing is you have to look for the clean oils. So when you think about salad dressings, mayonnaise, things like that, look for clean oils. Clean oils, in most cases of packaged foods, it would be avocado oil. Look for products that are made with avocado oil. Primal Kitchen is like the best salad dressing brand that I found to get my hands on in the Midwest. I know in some other, communities, there are different options, but so you want to look for a good oil. And then with mayonnaise, there's a couple of great brands like Sir Kensington's, and there's a brand called Chosen Avocado. They make avocado oil. That has actually been really tested very well because sometimes there's, some additives there, and then they make a mayonnaise too. So those are the best. Mustard, here's what's funny. I have found that the generic yellow mustard is typically the one that has like 3 ingredients versus the one that starts with F that we all, know. That's yeah. And then here's the last thing. I mean, the ketchup, there are clean ketchups, but my opinion, they don't taste good because there's no sugar in them. So ketchup is really just a little bit of, tomato sauce with a ton of sugar in it. So I say find the best quality one that has a little sugar in it, like just, and then just use a little bit. That's how I found. But Primal Kitchen does make a no sweetener added ketchup, and it's not for me.
Yeah, that's what we have. And it was initially when I ate it, I'm like, this isn't, but you get used to it. And now I don't even do that. I just put a slice of tomato on my burger, and that serves as my ketchup. I'm like, oh, this is great. I mean, I still eat the ketchup, but like not as much because I like a tomato kind of thing. Okay. And then you just talked about oils. So can you just talk about how the oils that are causing us to have inflammation and making us physically puffier?
Right.
Some may say fat, but it's just really inflammation. So you just talk about oils.
It is. So right in the 70s, there were these seed oils that were introduced into our system, and they are in nearly every single packaged food, right? And any kind of fast casual restaurant food, even some very nice restaurants, they're going to be cooked in these kind of oils. They are flavorless. So it's not that they taste bad, but what we know is that they cause inflammation, which can lead to all the other chronic illnesses that we're all trying to avoid, right? So the bad oils that we really want to keep at bay are the canola oil, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed oil, margarine. Watch out for these vegan butters too, because they're going to have typically a whole lot of additives. And instead, focus on a real high quality, extra virgin, cold pressed olive oil. That would be incredible, and great. Be careful because it is, if it's cooked too high temp, it does change the structure and you don't get all those great omega-3 health benefits. So extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, grass-fed butter. If you can tolerate some dairy, a little bit of grass-fed butter can also be great. Ghee is clarified butter. So some of my clients who just want to cook a little eggs in a little bit of butter, they'll do ghee instead. Coconut oil also. Now, all of that said, Amani, with the cholesterol concern, I would veer you more toward extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil versus the coconut oil and the grass-fed butter. But yeah.
Have you heard of this app called Yuka? Y-U-K-A?
Great. Yeah.
Okay. My friend here, Tina, she turned me on to it where you can scan the QR code and it tells you if it's excellent, good, poor, or stop. And I find that fascinating. So you like the app? You've used it?
I have used it. I have clients who use it. I think that at the end of the day, when you start really getting into this and getting used to this and know what to look for, you don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I think it is a great tool to start with, though.
And
there's other tools similar to that Yucca app, but I think it's awesome. I feel like everyone is getting on board and becoming a little bit more at least aware that there's some things in our food that really shouldn't be in our food.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so I have a couple of follow-ups. My first one is, you've heard the concept of Blue Monday. So Blue Monday is like the third Monday in January, and that's when people typically fall off from their resolutions. They call it Blue Monday.
The cliff. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that.
Why does that occur with so many people?
So I've done this before too. And I mean, I'm going to guess Amani and Mandy, you've both done this before, right? We set these, we think that in order to transform our health and our lifestyle, that we have to set these big, hairy, audacious goals. And we have to change everything because new year, new you, all this stuff, right? And what you learn is actually it's the small little baby steps. So like with my clients, and Mandy knows this, we look at month 1. What are the outcomes that you want by 1 month? And it could be, improved digestion, or like just a little bit less bloat, some pounds lost, whatever. Okay, now what are some action steps that we can take as it relates to your diet and lifestyle to get closer to that? It could be as simple as, for the first 4 weeks, we focus on what they put in their coffee in the morning. That's it. So if they're putting cream, sugar, all the things, maybe we take out the sugar. Maybe we find a good cashew coconut milk, which is my like new drink of choice, like little cashew coconut milk. And just start with that. And then maybe we can squeeze in a 10-minute walk twice a week. I mean, we start bare bones, like just baby steps, because those are things that we could actually do, or it just real small steps versus the fall off of January, because we tried to recreate our entire life. I don't know about you guys, but this is Monday back right after the holidays. Like, it is a firestorm today. Like, I felt like email and lists, and I don't know where, like, I don't know how today, like how I got here. So we want to end January and like stay on track after the craziness of the new year. I think we gotta like reframe how we want to get from point A to point B. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So I have a travel question. So for me, traveling usually on Tuesdays will look like this coming up. Now it'll look like an 8:00 a.m. flight for about an hour. Then I get a ride to school, and I get to school, say, around 10 o'clock. Then I'll start teaching at 11:30 to 12:45. Then a break, and then I have another class at 2:30 to 4, 4 to 5:15. Then I hop on another flight and come home, take a 6:45 flight home, and get home at about 8. So my challenge is that I can get the 2 smoothies in because we have a nice smoothie place at school. But it's like, how do you fit in the additional protein or eating I need before I get home at 8? Because I've learned that you don't want to eat too late. You want to get done having it all by like 6 o'clock, really.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? That's my first question.
Okay. So the fact that we eat 3 meals a day, right? Most of us eat 3 meals a day. I have some clients who do 2 or 4, but most of my clients were 3 meals a day. Of the 3 meals a day, 2 of those are taken care of. And you can do that on a crazy travel day that you do weekly. That's amazing, right? Okay. So now we have one that we have to think about. The airport. Yeah. Okay. So is there any opportunity for a decent restaurant that you could get something to go at? Airport food's tough, but some airports do have some really good stuff. So it depends on the airport, or near the airport or near the school that you could literally bring with you on the flight. And that's where you eat your dinner.
Oh, coming home. Okay. Let me see, because I'm using a different airport this semester. So let me see. That's good.
So that could be an option. I think like to bring something with you could be a really long day. And by the time you look, even if you refrigerate it the whole time you're in school, you could be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So and if you were looking at, my restaurant food for the week, I'm keeping it to maybe 3 meals a week or 2 meals a week. Because I do. So remember when we talked about the seed oils, this is a way to keep the seed oils and the additives down, is like plan for restaurant food. Okay. This could be one of your restaurant meals for the week. So it'd be a way of looking at it.
And you recommend like 2 or 3 restaurant meals a week?
Everyone is super different, but that's kind of like the ideal sweet spot, because 2 reasons. Like, we want to live, like,
yes,
right?
We do.
We want to go to restaurants, we want to socialize, like we want to do that. So you should be able to do that. But then knowing, what restaurants you can choose that have a little bit of a better option.
All right. Shout out to Kelly Lester. I see your question there. And then Betsy, good to see you here. Okay, let's pause because we could go down another rabbit hole here. Hold on. Before I ask you, okay, so 2 more. What about like these bars? You have like these protein bars and things. Do you have ones you recommend, or do you recommend your clients stay away from them?
So it is the question that I get most commonly. Like, it is the number one question of where's a protein bar. Here's how, a protein bar is a processed food, right?
Okay.
And the way I look at them is, as an emergency, there are a couple clean option ones that there's really only one, but I'm learning about more. Like when I travel and I haven't tasted them, so I don't know if there's one that I've tasted that is actually good that I would recommend. But it's RAW Organics, RAWR. Organics is the brand. You have to order through their website. They're not on any other. I've tried, and it's all real food ingredients. The story of the owners, maybe you could have them on here, is really incredible. But it's all clean, and it does have some natural sweetener like honey. But it's really good. But I would recommend staying away.
Got it.
Like yes, and instead think, and we can overdo it obviously, but is there a clean turkey stick? Think protein. Is there a little bit of
chomps?
I love
a chomp.
Some cashews, some almonds, some walnuts, things like that. They're one ingredient. I'd recommend that.
It's funny you say that, because for last year, like, I would eat a Bear Bell, which is considered a protein bar. But then when I scanned it in my little app, it was like bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been eating sugar. So, okay. Yeah. We've come to the time of the show.
Wait. I want to hit a pause on this for a second, because people hear from us all the time and we don't always get to hear from Jenny. So can we push the question to a little bit later? Because I want to hear the questions from the chat. I want to hear what Kelly has to say or Betsy has to say. And then I've got a question before we go there. If you're okay with that, Amani, are you all right with that?
I'm not okay. No, just kidding.
What if you just threw your microphone? You're like, I'm not okay. I hate that suggestion.
So Kelly asked, what are your top 3 favorite weeknight dinners that you recommend to clients?
Okay. So again, we all have different tastes. So I want to preface it with that. The lazy meal is ground chicken, ground turkey, or ground beef. And that can be made into taco salad, which is, like Mandy knows, that's like a staple at our house. That can be made into a bowl kind of concept where you have like a little bit of cauliflower rice, a little bit of ground turkey, a little bit of zucchini, and you can flavor it with whatever spices you want. I love a chicken fajita sheet pan, right? I love a good burger. Mandy was talking about a burger. I feel like if you can eat in a way that all your numbers, your cholesterol, like everything is looking really, really good. And your weight, you're like moving toward, in a good way, your healthy weight goals, and you can still have a good burger loaded with tomato, avocado, lettuce, onion. Like, this is the way to eat, right? So those are probably, I think, my biggest ones. I'm in Ohio right now. So I'm in soup mode. So I'm an Instapot fan and a crock pot fan. So I rotate a bunch of a really good paleo minestrone, which is just minestrone without the noodles. And I'm trying to think, good chicken, vegetable soup. So things like that are like my go-tos.
Do you have a cookbook?
I don't have a cookbook because I have a cookbook problem. I buy all of them and I highlight and I tab and that's my favorite thing, is to cook other people's food. But I definitely have favorite cookbooks.
Okay. Yeah, but you bring up a good point. If you aren't following Jenny on Instagram, you got to follow her, because she literally shows what she's meal prepping for the week, and like everything that she's talking about is there. And I get ideas just from watching your Instagram. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Or like dips and things like that, just like things to do. Okay. Kelly just asked a question about your dinner. I want to talk about evenings. Like, work is over through going to bed. What are some hacks, some little changes people can make regarding dinners, time they eat, sleep, and like that whole digestion process? If you don't mind taking us through like 4 p.m. until midnight with like what people can do.
So here's the thing, and I think this ties in too. Like, I love, Amani, that you asked the question about, like, you're flying home, you get home at 8 every single week on Tuesdays. Eating, by the time you get home and get your whatever, you've laid your stuff down. It's 8:30 now. By the time you're done eating, I mean, it's late. So ideally, I'm working with clients to stop their eating window at least 3 hours before bed. And it really depends where you are in like your current habits. Like, I don't know. For years, I had to grab cheese and crackers at the end of the evening. And I'm like, I don't know why I can't reach all my healthy goals, but because I'm eating this late at night. What I learned is what I ate throughout the day was not balancing my blood sugar, was not keeping me satisfied enough so that I need snacks. So when I never say to a client, no snacks, we don't snack. But my super secret goal that's going to be out right now is that we get away from the snacks. You shouldn't need a snack if you're eating a meal that has protein, low starch veg, and really good healthy fats. You should be satisfied for 4 to 5 hours. So I've got clients who they call me and they're nervous because they're like, I'm not hungry. Like, what happened? Like, should I be? Because your blood sugar is so balanced. So the trick is, so if we aim for 3 hours before bed, you stop your eating window. I mean, if you can, we talked a lot our last time, which was so fun, about digestion walks.
Yeah,
I mean,
talk about that.
Okay,
what is that? And why should people do it for their blood sugar?
There are incredible.
Amani's losing his mind. We're talking about poop. We're talking about poop, Amani.
So there's all these hacks that can help to balance your blood sugar. And when I say balance your blood sugar, right? We eat something, even if it's super healthy, your blood sugar does go up. And then your pancreas releases insulin and it shuffles the sugar into the cells. When you come down, that's when you're hungry. So when you are in these nice rolling hills versus big dips and, then yeah, that's not what we want. That's when we crash and we need to eat cheese and crackers or something way worse than that, right? So there are hacks that can help to balance your blood sugar. And they are vinegar, a little bit before, 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after a meal. Any kind of vinegar, white apple cider vinegar has a lot of health. So, or you have a salad with some, vinegar in it. So that's one. Digestion walks. When you walk for just 10 minutes after eating, muscle can also absorb sugar, just right. So you're moving your calf muscles and these muscles in your legs, and it's shuffling sugar into your muscles. So the walk is like one of the biggest hacks to balancing your blood sugar. And then I think the third one is just never eating a carbohydrate or a starch all alone or a sugar all alone. So if you think about, Mandy, you just came back from this incredible trip to Paris. They eat something sweet at the end of a meal. I mean, we do too, like dessert. But after the inside of your stomach and intestines are coated with fiber and protein, so you're not like spiking blood sugar like crazy, like when you just have a sweet treat all by itself. So yeah. But yeah, timing is really important. I mean, and it does make sense, right? If you're eating and then you're laying down the rest of the evening doing nothing, you're expending no calories, right? And so it's kind of it gets to be this vicious cycle. And then we start to feel like it's harder to wake up. All of this is snowball, right? You start to do one healthy habit, like eat a little earlier. And even like the 3 hours, some of my clients, we don't say 3 hours before bed. Sometimes we go, okay, let's start with 1 hour. Then we start with 2 hours. So wherever they're at, there are small steps that really get you there.
And what happens while you sleep? Like, if you don't eat a big meal before you go to bed and you actually have that 2 to 3 hour window, what does your body do when you sleep versus eating a big meal and then going to bed? Like, what is the body doing under both circumstances while you're sleeping?
So sleep is all about rest and repair. Your body is repairing, it is healing, it is rejuvenating for the next day. When you are in digestion mode, that's all your body's doing. It's digesting. And then let's add on something even worse than that. And I like wine, alcohol. Now your liver is like shuffling all the alcohol out of and taking all that time to do that. Plus it's working on digestion. So now your organs can't do their job to repair. And how many of us, right, have had a really big meal with a little bit of wine, and then we go to bed and we sleep like, you know what, it's terrible, right? Versus you end your eating window at like 5:30 at night. I know that's not for everyone, but if you can get to that point where you're around that and you don't go to bed until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then you get this like most amazing sleep. And I don't know about you, but I'm 50 going on 51. So like sleep is like everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you see as from the clients that do the best, what are the most common characteristics that they exhibit?
Okay, I love this question. So one, I love clients who take this challenge on like in October, November, December. I think it's like just badass, right? Like you're going into the holidays and you're like, nope, I'm making change. So I got all of these new clients right around end of year, and they're doing the holiday parties and figuring out how to plan and how to execute their strategy through the craziest. I love that. So that's one thing. I think the biggest indicator of success is somebody who has made one small change, maybe a big change, but already. Like they just started walking, or they never ate breakfast before and they started to eat a high protein, clean, super satisfying breakfast at a time that worked for them. That's one change. And they did it. If they start one change and they're like, holy cow, it changed. Now I'm ready for more. Let's bring it on. So I think I love a client who has just one, and it doesn't have to do with food. It could be exercise. It could be sleep. It could be going to like a functional medicine doctor and like just getting their nutrition, like nutrient deficiencies tested to see like what they're like, just one or two small steps. And man, we can build on that, because what we know, right, about habit change is if you're successful at one habit change, even if it's small, you're going to be successful at the next and the next and the next. Yeah.
I think for us, like I'm kind of speechless because I took so many notes. Like, let's flip the script. What questions do you have for like Mandy or myself? Anything is on limits. Nothing is off limits.
Okay.
What question do you have? Who do you want to ask the question to first? It can be two different questions too, if you like.
What's that?
It can be two different questions too, if you like.
I think I want to ask you both two questions, the same question. So the first question is, and I already know Amani. Okay, but what did you, Amani and Mandy, what did you have for breakfast?
Okay, so I had my morning smoothie, the one I talked to you with the spinach and the chia flax seeds and all that. That's what I had for me.
I love it. Okay, Mandy, what did you have for breakfast?
I had my homemade chicken veggie soup, and I had soup for breakfast. I love soup for breakfast. And I had some cottage cheese and some Mary's crackers, Mary's seed crackers.
I love that. I love it. So yeah. I want to tag on that response. And I think, Mandy, we talked about it. Like, why do we limit ourselves to this is a breakfast food? This is a lunch, Yeah. I love soup for breakfast, chicken salad for breakfast, cottage cheese. I mean, like, have it for breakfast. Like, nothing is off limits, depending, as long as it's like the right kind of composition and lots of protein. I love that. Okay. So question for both of you, starting with Amani. What is your number one karaoke song?
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. Karaoke song number one for me. Maybe Get Down on It, Cool in the Gang.
Ooh, Amani, I want to see you sing that.
I want to see it. We're gonna need video. I love it.
Yes, I would pick a Mariah Carey song, but I can't get to that octave just yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it so much. Mandy, your karaoke song.
I mean, it's evolved over the years, but as of late, it's Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Oh, and mostly because the monologue at the beginning, when he's like, dearly beloved, We are
Okay.
gathered here today to witness this thing called life. I love singing that into the microphone, and then the guitar and at the end, if the crowd's with you, but they're not always with you, so you can't always do this. But if the crowd is with you at the end when he does that guitar solo, that you can actually lay on your back and play the guitar and spin in a circle. Now you can't always do that because the floor to which you're on could be disgusting.
Very dirty, yes.
And you can't
Start,
always,
you don't know, right? You really don't know.
You don't know. And you also can't always do that because like you've lost the crowd. It's a long song at some point. So I just but that's been a real crowd pleaser in my last couple karaoke's, I would say.
I really love it.
What's yours? What's yours, Jenny?
Oh, I just experienced karaoke at a Detroit speakeasy. And I didn't mean to do it. I was with these most amazing women, and they started to play the song Sunday Morning, Maroon 5, which it's not my favorite. It's, but I started to sing it and from the back of the room. And so then I got up there, and I have video, and it's not good. It's not pretty.
I want to see it. Send the video. Send the video. That's great. We'll put it in our show notes.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah.
I want to ask you something that I think is probably on a lot of people's minds about how do you handle it? Whether you're with a partner, you're with a family, or you're living in a multi-generation home, which is happening right now with the sandwich generation. Like, how do you handle when you're the only one in the house getting healthy?
Okay.
It's a two-part. I have a follow-up question to this too.
Okay. So let me share with you. There is a recent client I had who, her name is Amy. And Amy had 2 teenagers and a husband in the house. And she worked full-time. And she's like, they eat pizza, they eat BW3's wings, they eat, and like, I don't, if I'm going to do that. So we started and we said, okay, they can do it. Let them eat all that. What can you cook? What can you meal prep? What can you buy and have in your house that nourishes you? If they want to eat it, great. There's extra for them. And it'll be a little bit of push and pull to figure out how much that you need. But and this is so hard for women especially, but just take care of you and let them make sure that you have whatever, things they need on hand. And she did it, and her whole world changed. And she made super simple meals for her. Her kids, sometimes they would eat a little bit of it. Sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they go, hey, we're going out to dinner. Do you want to come? And she's like, I'm going to come, but I'm going to eat first. And she would enjoy the family, but she would have her food. And every time she did that, she felt good. Like she felt like she was taking care of herself. And so I think it's moving away from this like selfish, like I got to take care of everyone else to, what can I make sure I have? And then everyone else can take care of themselves. I can have the right things on hand. It's okay to do that. And it's really like, if you're going to move forward toward your health goals, you've got to start to put your health and your nutritional needs first. You just have to. We don't have to change anyone else. But I mean, I'd love for all of them to change. But what I've learned, at my age is you can't change anyone. Just you can control you.
Such a hard lesson to learn. Yes,
that reminds me of a hack that you taught me too, not related. I do have a related follow-up question, but I just want to share this because it came up, is opening receptions for conferences, like where it's on a flow, not you're sitting down for a meal, but like where they've got like food stations, is I always eat before those because I get so hungry going into that. And then by the time that it's over, I'm eating really bad. So I always eat before that. And then I don't have those situations where I'm like eating and talking to people at the same time, or where I'm like, where am I going to go and eat this food at this reception? I always eat before an opening reception. And then the focus is, like you said, enjoying the family. I'm just enjoying the people that I'm with instead of worrying about like, what food are we eating and where's the food? Now, the meeting planners of the world are going to hate to hear that because there's so much intention behind the planning of that meal. But, the goal of that is to network and interact with people. And sometimes if I've got food in my mouth, I can't, or you're just standing there. It's just like awkward to eat. So like I always eat before those things and then I can enjoy it. And then I'm not hungry after and I'm not making bad decisions after. So that was just a good reminder of something that you gave me there.
It's like the best strategy. And one of my clients, who's a good friend of yours, Mandy, she took a video and I reposted it on my Instagram years ago. And it was like of the buffet at a reception. And she's like, what do I do? And we're like, okay, next time we plan and we a little bit better and we eat before. But right now I'm looking at this and maybe this, but the options weren't great. I love the eating before. It seems really weird. But it can really, really work. And it has for you, Mandy.
Yeah. And I like, it's just great to interact without the side thought of food. Like you're not even thinking about the food. You're just focused on the person instead of like, oh, and the side, I'm hungry. I got to go get some food. And it's like subpar food. Okay. Going back to that other question about how do you handle it if you're the only one getting healthy in your house, how has your health journey impacted your kids and your family?
So what I will, it's kind of fascinating. So I have a 20-year-old who has moved out now. So went to school and moved out. And then I have a 14-year-old daughter at home. And by the time my son could drive, so we ate good, clean food. We had a little bit of junk that they could, but not really much. The moment he could drive, he was Chipotle. He was, McDonald's, Taco Bell, like getting all the things. What's really interesting now is he's on his own and the kid is meal prepping. So, and he's just in a culture and an environment and wow, this is what's so exciting. There are these kids on social media and they are meal prepping and they're eating whole food and they're, eating chicken, sweet potatoes, and they're talking about how it makes them feel. And so like there is a movement toward this. So my son's already taken it on. My daughter, we're kind of in and out. So she can't drive yet. So she's eating what I'm eating for the most part, but there's still a yearning for some junk food and she gets it from her friends.
Yeah.
And then what's interesting is my husband, Jeff, I don't want to change it. I know I can't change him.
Yeah.
He has, as of October of last year, made significant changes in exercise and diet. And so the plan was February, he's going to go and do some testing, just blood work, nutrient, all that stuff. And I know it's going to show the progress that he's making. So
wow.
I don't force it. I just do me. And then, really hope to inspire by doing.
I love
So
that.
powerful.
And
Yeah.
I know we're over, Amani, but can we ask a couple more questions or no? Do you got to go? You got to go.
Well, we got a little time, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go
Can I
ahead.
say one quick thing? So one other thing, this is really crazy what happened this past year from a business perspective. I started working with my clients' kids who were high school athletes and college students.
Got it.
And they would take me into the meal service places on their campuses, and we figure out the best option. And it's been awesome. And the approach is as much whole food, high protein as possible, and plan for the treat. Plan for the treat. So the Starbucks is still in, is still in. It's just planning for the treat.
Tell us about the work, because you do work with actual school systems. Tell us about the work you're doing with school systems and actual corporate wellness programs.
Yeah. So right now we've just launched a really incredible challenge for the Toledo Club in my hometown. And so we're working, they're each working to lose a certain percentage of body weight. And so I'm doing those kind of challenges. There is like a corporation where it's so amazing. So the leadership covers 60% of my fee. And then the staff
Mm.
person, I am available to do a 3-month one-on-one coaching for them. And they only have to pay 40% of the fee. And there's,
Nice.
and it's amazing. And I used to go and sit at their offices, and then everyone, Zoom was the easier way. So now we do everything by Zoom. When it comes to the schools, oh my gosh, if I shared a photo, I wish I had it, of a transformation of a school nurse who I started to coach a teacher, and then it was another teacher and another teacher. Then it was the principal, then it was the superintendent, that it kind of like went on and on like that. And then the school nurse had me in to do a bunch of training, and she just I never worked with her, but she just took notes and made some changes and sent me a before and after. And it was like she was 15 pounds down. You could see the inflammation was gone in her face just by making a few changes. It was amazing.
And then for those people that they think they're too old, or they think they're too overweight, or they think maybe they're in their 70s, maybe they're in their 50s, whatever that is, and they've never really embarked on a health journey like this before. What do you say to them if they're worried about starting this, or they're worried about, like, I don't know, this isn't for me? Sometimes people think nothing's for them. Like, what do you say to that person?
So through the years, I've had clients in their 60s and 70s, and even late 70s. And here's the thing. Our cells are constantly turning over, right? So when you change your diet, you're changing your entire body. Like, food is information. So how you operate is based on what you're putting into your body. When you start putting good stuff in your body, it's a matter of a couple days to where you feel completely different. There's an attorney I'm working with, 1 week. She texted me after just making these changes, cleaning up her diet just in the very beginning, reducing the amount of restaurant meals because she doesn't travel. She has a home office. Holy cow. She's like, I can think completely clearly, way different from what she was experiencing before. The change happens so quickly. If you are a sugar addict, within 1 week, and it might be a rough week, you can detox for that need for sugar, and your body feels completely different, from a joint pain, from a headache, from a reflux, all of that. It's amazing. Mandy, you even said my palate changed. Your palate changes when you start to eat this way. So it doesn't matter what age, 60s, 70s. Yep. I welcome the 80-year-olds. I see them on social media in the gym. They're killing it. They can do it. Yeah.
All right, Amani, I promise, last question, then I'll zip it, and then you take it from here. Okay, weights. Can you talk about the power of strength training, weightlifting at any age?
Yeah. So, I'm a yoga I love yoga. And the more I started to read and learn about the importance of muscle building and muscle maintenance, especially for women in their 50s, I was like, I got to figure out a way to do this. And so I started to incorporate it. I'm 2 years in to my weight journey. I think, Mandy, you started, before me, as far as the weights, incorporating weights. Muscle, again, the more muscle you have on, the more your metabolism will be on fire. You can handle some of the less clean, more carbohydrate options when you have more muscle on your body. When you have more muscle on your body, you become a furnace, to where I'm sitting on the couch. I stopped eating 3 hours before, and I'm sitting on the couch, and my body is still burning calories because I am this furnace. So we want to be able to do that. And then at the end of the day, I'm not in it for living to be 100, or I'm in it for being able to dance, and dance at my grandkids. And Mandy knows how I dance. It's not good. It's not pretty, but yeah. Because I want to really be able to use my body and not have fear of breaking something or tearing something. And the way to do that is to build muscle.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Big fan.
On that note, this is what I'll say. I'm kind of speechless. I got notes. Once again, we just love having you here.
Mm.
it's like we're having a conversation with one of our best friends, and you're just giving us so many different kernels and just things to do that are easy and simple. And it's like you leave this and you're excited to try this out so you can report back and we can have you back again. So just thank you so much. It's been so great.
Well, thank you for having me. And yeah, you have to have me back so I can check in on how the smoothie and the other meal and your
Yes,
Tuesday nights are going.
yes, I'm
Oh,
on it.
yeah.
You're giving
She's
me
going to be
ideas.
obsessed with her Tuesday nights now. You're going to get some
Yes.
text messages,
Because
Monty.
remember last semester it would be a 6 o'clock a.m. wake up call, and I wouldn't get home until I wouldn't get on the plane until like 10:30. So
Yeah.
now you've given me even more, I don't want to say hope, but just how it can be help me even my health even more with the shrinking time window. So I'm just really excited. So
Yeah. How can
I'm
we lift you up, Jenny? You spent more than an hour with us and you've given us so much information. How can we support you? How can we lift you up?
I have me back on again because I love that. I love support. Keep doing what you two are doing because this podcast, this LinkedIn, I mean, it is amazing. The people that you select, I learned so much from. I'm still reading books and following Paula, your spiritual
Oh,
entrepreneur, who's
yes,
amazing.
from Australia. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
so yeah, keep doing you. Let me hold Amani accountable. Mandy, I know we've got a BB 51 that we've got to be working on. But yeah, and then yeah, check out my Instagram. So and my website, I'd love for folks to just keep learning.
And remind everybody your Instagram. I know it's scrolling across the bottom, but people are listening while they're walking their dog or at school pickup. What's your
Or
Instagram
on
account?
their digestion walk. But
Or
go
their
ahead.
digestion
Of
walk.
course.
That's right. Or the poops walks.
Yes. So Instagram handle is Jenny Perin Shift Life. And my website is Shift Life with Jenny.
And Perin is 1R.
Perin is 1R. Yeah.
Got it. Let's give another round of applause for Jenny to spend some great time with us. So round of applause there. We'll
Thank
put
you,
you back in the
Jenny.
green room really quickly. And Mandy and I will close out the show. So Mandy, amazing show. Thanks again to
Yes.
Jenny. I got my notes. I got my to-do. It's so funny that I got to get to the grocery store. So I'm going to go and pick up some cauliflower rice like right now. Like I'm on it. I got my little app. Like I've been waiting, holding off on grocery shopping until today.
Amani, you got to make that fajita. I have never made that sheet pan fajita thing that she talks about, and she always talks about it. So I'm going to do that chicken fajita thing. You got to make that. I'm going to make it. I think
I'm on it. I'll
Yeah.
send you a picture.
Yeah.
If you are, well, first of all, who do we have to look forward to next week?
We have I don't know if it's Hema or Hema, but Hema Crockett, and she helps people recalibrate. So when you feel lost and you just want to return to yourself, you hire her. And I kind of like this because like the first 3 guests of January are all about self-improvement, whether it's like food, nutrition, spiritual, and then we've got an executive coach coming on the week after that. So I'm kind of stoked about what we're delivering to our audience this month in terms of helping them be their best selves.
I agree. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe on the platform you're watching or listening on. Tell a friend. Subscribe on YouTube, like we said. And with that, we will see you all next week, 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the East Coast, 3 p.m. Central Time. And with that, we will see everyone later.
Bye.